First off, WWE Tribalist number 469-2. I'd like to start with a list of complaints. People are mean to me. The AEW brand is mean to me. The AEW shots are mean to me. Everything is clearly AEW's fault. They caused the Suzuki incident. That was the most infamous wrestling moment. There is no other moment in wrestling that clearly caused this event. It is clearly AEW, and no one could pull it out better than AEW when it came to making horrible mistakes. They are clearly responsible for the Montreal Screwjob. They're somehow responsible for referencing all the bad stuff in wrestling, even though they haven't done anything, and I'm just making up excuses and rhetoric to wave the flag of the WWE. Even though WWE has been accused and has been given evidence of proof, or whether or not of accusations of horrible misconduct and even public displays of misconduct, including garbage bags to women, because WWE might secretly be a sexist culture workforce, but we're going to ignore that in favor of the devil of AEW, because they are clearly the devil, and therefore they are clearly evil. Praise Vince. Anyways, so that's basically what happened after the Seth Rollins incident. Thank God Seth Rollins alright. Also, that guy needs help. I saw the video and I was like, oh fuck. Now I'm glad Seth Rollins didn't retaliate when he was being attacked, because damn, that guy needs help. Like, oh god, he really needs help. So yeah, and like I said in that impersonation of Alec Baldwin impersonating Trump on SNL, because that's just hilarious, and I was watching that all day for Thanksgiving. Yeah, some dirty tribalists I saw going ahead and spreading anti-AEW rhetoric about a company that, while have done things wrong, I'll admit, AEW isn't perfect, but they haven't done the horrendous lengths that WWE has gone, including making business deals with evil governments that go ahead and treat women as bad, have blood on their hands, and have oil money because we have to get the oil. So, yeah, and AEW and Tony Khan even has to go ahead and go on an interview and explain that no, we did not make deals with the Saudi government. My dad did not make deals with the Saudi government. He made deals with a businessman who just happens to be from Saudi Arabia. And if that guy has ties with the Saudi Arabian government, that's a completely different thing or whatever. But he never made direct deals with the Saudi government. Therefore, he is completely innocent on this regard in this context. But, yeah. So enough about the dark stuff that happened this week. Let's go on to the joyous occasion of history, lore, and other continuity-filled stuff, which is everything that AEW tends to produce these days, that I am trying to wonder how they even got this far on that. And how they got away with this promo, because this was 20 minutes as an opening segment. You know, whenever you hear the phrase 20-minute opening segment, you're thinking the Authority storyline and how they ruined that with so many opening promos to the point that it just became, okay, the Authority's there. Are they gone yet? So, yeah. But I was at work when this happened, this glorious moment we got, and I'm wearing my "This is the worst time I've ever been to," and honestly, I should have gotten the "This is the worst year I've ever been to," because 2020 part 2 is not over yet, folks. Very not over. It's just a month away, and then we can say hello to the true hopeful 2021 if things start to get better, though considering how the state of the world has been for the last year, it's probably not. But at least we have our professional wrestling escapism, at least until the tribalists of war of each company go to war in the great wrestling war that doesn't even exist at this point for me or anyone else. But MJF and CM Punk have a 20-minute segment together. CM Punk set to fight QT Marshall. That's a real thing I just said. Even I'm surprised that even was a thing. And MJF comes out, has a problem with Punk. See, you didn't mention me, huh? You didn't mention me. And you just want to see these two go at it, because for 20 minutes, they laid into some shots. pipe bombs, nuclear blasts, the devastation. Oh God, the humanity, the Hindenburg of wrestling just happened. Oh, who would on earth release Chicago, the most destructive promo battle since John Cena's mass evisceration of Roman Reigns in 2021 and also in 2016, because that is clear, because, wait, 2018, yeah, that's clearly a problem. And now MJF is told, go out there and do not mess this up like Roman, because we have a script. But, this segment, this is a segment. This is a promo battle you want. You would think, oh, Eddie Kingston, Punk, yeah, they're not going to top that for a while. Nope, we got it 2 weeks, got it. Eddie Kingston, you are now a distant memory. Nah, not really. Eddie Kingston's still my viewpoint that he's going to be world champion by 2023 after MJF when he dethrones him. That's my prediction, hopefully. CM Punk went ahead and went to war on the microphone with MJF. MJF and Punk go ahead and trade the shots, and oh God. Here's the best way to describe this segment. Miz was the most over guy in AEW at the moment, and he's a WWE superstar who never got that kind of reaction. Unless it was Enzo involved and then he thrashed people. Because Punk went ahead and called him a less famous Miz. Yeah, we're really going there. Then he goes ahead and then MJF responds and say, hustle, loyalty to respect. Yeah, thugonomics. Yeah. Referencing how Punk's acting like John Cena, calling him PG Punk and whatnot, being that lethal killer Punk that we got in 2011 when, you know, he had massive chips on his shoulder. And they go ahead and he references his UFC career, which I believe was cutthroat. Oh, God. And then he goes and talks about Triple H, and I'm like, oh, God, we're referencing that guy. And then Punk even admits, yeah, he has some points. He got some points there. But the only way you're going to get to the top is if you have Tony Khan go ahead and have a daughter for you to marry. And MJF is dead. There is no way you can recover from that. And yeah, and then MJF got mad when he referenced how Darby is the heart and soul of AEW and not MJF, and how MJF has to rely on people to back him up, even though Punk did that for a long time. Had Paul Heyman on his corner and all that. This is why I just wish that we stopped the whole we're the only company in existence. That's what people like most than anything, is the continuity. The fact that we can say WWE stuff on an AEW programming, and we can use that to fuel a story instead of, oh, you went ahead into that big place up north, that big place in New York, Titan's Tower, and whatnot. But you wouldn't really say the WWF unless it was Kevin Nash and Scott Hall legal reasons. But yeah, QT Marshall's match with Punk was ultimately pointless because this is the match people wanted to see. MJF goes ahead, is like, want to go? Let's go. I'm out. Just pissing the fans off of Chicago, and Punk going ahead and calling him, saying you threatened to punch him in his little needle, you know what, which is a thing I will not say because even though I have standards. Oh man. I gotta stress that this is just one promo confrontation. Last week they just had a stare down. And we're nowhere near a pay-per-view yet. We won't have a pay-per-view till what, February? And I was like, how much? How much do I need to throw at you guys? I'll give you how much? $100? Just $100. Give these guys just the whole show. Give them the whole show. Have a declaration of voicing your opinion and where MJF goes ahead and rallies his campaign officials, saying how he's the top 1% of AEW and be a snobby person. And talking about, and Punk also talked about La Dina de Bois, that beautiful musical segment that made me think this is Golden Age wrestling you would expect from WWF back in the day, which now makes me wish we kind of did a song and dance with Kevin Owens and Jericho just for the hell of it. Oh man, that would have been fun. And I don't know why, but every time, and CM Punk then referenced how Chicago is why it's called Chicago, the second city, and why he calls himself the Second City Saint. And I was like, oh yeah, yeah, that's the referencing of the 1871 Chicago Great Fire, I think, because he referenced embers, which was the fiery devastation of the entire Chicago city. Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah. Yikes. 1871 folks would be mad if they heard that now. I mean, like, politically correctness was different back then, but that's a different matter. So, CM Punk, MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, I'm like, oh man, this is the same thing I said about Eddie Kingston Punk, how they should have done this with Sammy and Kevin Owens. Go on the mic, go at it for 10 to 20 minutes, and then kill each other after that. We can make a Hell in a Cell match based off that. I see that, and I'm surprised they didn't reference how MJF actually met Punk when he was a young lad. I'm pretty sure we'll see that in the coming weeks or months. Which kind of eerily simulates to Jericho's story with Kevin Owens, when Kevin Owens was the Jericho fan, and he had a poster on Jericho on his wall. And now you could do that with Punk, but with MJF being the fan of Punk. Think about it. But yeah. This was a classic promo segment. I loved it. Oh god. This is what I love about this. I love seeing this kind of story. That we could just tell the story. We don't need to bog it down. We don't need a fight. We don't need exposition that is dull, repetitive, boring, and tells you what exactly happened last week. They instead tell the story. They give the facial reactions. Punk looking like an old man who's with that white beard stuff, since he is older these days. But he's still sticking around, gonna fight for as much as he can, take as much matches as he can. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm hoping he's the first to take the... I'm hoping MJF is the one that breaks the streak. And then MJF can go on the microphone and say, hey, at least I took a lot better than... At least it took me quicker to end the streak than it took Punk to end Mark's. Or something like that. And just piss everyone off, because people love Undertaker even after what happened this year with him. Oh god. Like I said, WWE can be doing this. They could just take what the AEW's doing, put it on their program with Miz. Again, they could put it on TV instead of eggs. Seriously. Or, you know, basically do a big guest of honor party, but the guest never shows up. Ain't that right, Survivor Series? It's just... I want to see more of this. I want this content, this quality, to also apply to WWE. It's that good. And there's still people out there that want. There are people out there that want to tear down the AEW brand because it threatens their status quo, because it would ruin their precious image. And I'm just that guy to just go ahead and enjoy this. And I'll bash WWE. I'll admit it. I bash WWE. But if you like it, if you want to watch it, if you want to support it, fine. I'll give you my reasons why I can't bring myself to support it anymore. But I'll respect your opinion. I won't have to go on Twitter and rant and rave about how someone's being a tribalist, insane madman. I mean, like, I will, but I'm talking about more like I won't reference them by name, because despite my stances on them, I will not harass them. I will not send people to harass them, because that's just stupid. And if you want to talk about them, go ahead, but at least say you don't want these people harassed, no matter how much you don't like them. But let's be real, the amount of logic stretching and amount of goalpost shifting the goalpost is just so annoying. We can't enjoy this because I say I want to enjoy this and everyone says I'm an idiot for enjoying something that's not the supreme leader Vince, that God himself. I want to watch this. I love it. I enjoy it. I get to watch this. I want to be on YouTube commenting about it. I want to go ahead and enjoy it for as much as I can until the inevitable day comes. AEW does the major ethical screw-ups more than they ever have, and then I start hating them too, probably. I'm like, look at Impact. People hated them when the politics got to them. Thanks a lot, Hogan and Bischoff. But then they just started to embrace the madness. They started to embrace wickedness and breaking the fourth wall. They started embracing it, but at that point it was too late to fix everything that was done to them. If they did this before everything went to hell, when they were still good, but they could embrace the madness, be the Deadpool of wrestling where they're just self-aware, could you imagine the kind of press they could have gotten? But now look, we can't have that. I want to see that more. I want to see Impact get more attention. I want to see AEW succeed and be the ultimate symbol for you can be a wrestling legend or a Hall of Famer or an icon, and you don't need the big conglomerate machine that will play favorites and pick and choose who they want to choose. You just gotta have the skills, the talent, the ability to succeed. And I'm being dramatic because I'm being dramatic. But now, look at this. We're getting a match. We're going to get a match either next year or to end December, or to kick off this golden age of wrestling we're in. I feel the reign of pro wrestling, as I've called it for some time now. And yet everyone wants to shift the goalpost. They don't want this to work because it offends them. And that sadly saddens me. But fine, if you want to just continue to be very sadly negative about the fact that there's another alternative out there, that even WWE wrestlers are now starting to come out more and say, I like this. Well, you have people who have been here for years, who worked for WWE for years, coming out and saying, it's not the same anymore. And if I could go back and if I was a young lad again, I wouldn't even trust them with my career. Mick Foley, you have spoken truth. And I love that we got this. I love that we got this segment. I love that we get to see CM Punk be happy again, to feel that passion he has for this industry. And like I said, wrestling didn't necessarily need him, but they wanted him back. MJF is probably feeling like a kid on the inside, see that he gets to be in the ring with his hero or idol and go on the microphone with him, and even able to hold his own with a couple of pipe bombs of his own to Punk. And I love that they connect the WWE history and add it to the wrestling lore to say, yes, WWE, you are part of the universe, whether you like it or not. even if you say you're sports entertainment. But that's the beauty of it. We get to have so much stuff around now. Isn't that nice? To have so much content now, as opposed to just one singular content and a little other bite-sized content. Now everything is starting to expand more. New Japan is starting to get back its stride bit by bit, even though when it really was in a bad place at the time. And now we get this. We get Impact getting some attention again when they were doing the partnership. And I'm looking forward to the day we get Britt Baker and Deonna Purrazzo and be their female version of the two-man power trip of the Independents since Bayley and Sasha. That was fun. Oh man, Bayley got the short end of that stick though. Oh man, this is a glorious age of wrestling we're in. The reign of pro wrestling, and I'm loving every moment of it. I just wish WWE could just accept, yeah, we're a wrestling company. Yeah, we'll say sports entertainment for legal purposes, but at the end of the day, this is a wrestling company. I don't know why they won't, but I know why, because Vince is afraid of that word for some messed up reason, probably. But that's enough hearsay on that. This was New Year Reality Entertainment, the WrestleVerse, presenting Punk, MJF, War of Words. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my content in the description below. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace and take care, and have a happy Thanksgiving. And good luck with Black Friday. We are all screwed.